Hi everyone. We have about 3 minutes to commence today's live info section. So I would entreat you all to stay. So please do bear with me. Hi, welcome to EB Education Consult. Today I'm going to talk about scholarships in Czech Republic. But before we dive into the presentation today, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who are experiencing me for the first time, my name is Enoch Mensah Boatin. I'm originally from Ghana, but currently I live in the Czech Republic. I in 2014 I did apply for the Czech government scholarship for master studies. Um, yes, in 2014 I did apply, and in 2015 I was awarded the scholarship to start a follow-up master's program. And what they mean by follow-up master's program is that if you have completed bachelor's already, then you go in for the master's program. They call it follow-up master's program. In the Czech system, education system, you can apply and study bachelor's and master's continuously without a break. So 3 years bachelor's, 2 years master's, and then you have master's degree. Yeah. So following my graduation, successful graduation with the masters, I continued with the PhD, and then I finished with my PhD just last year. So In all, I have about almost 10 years experience living and studying in the Czech Republic, as well as working in the Czech Republic. And I have received several requests to an inquiry about studying the Czech Republic, scholarships, affordability, application processes, and stuff. So I thought it wise to have this session for people who might be interested in knowing how to obtain scholarships or get admitted into affordable master's, PhD, or even bachelor's program in the Czech Republic. Just give me 1 minute to post the link, the live link on Facebook, so that people can join the session. In the meantime, if you have any question that you would want me to address in the course of my presentation, or um, yeah, just put it in the comment section. I would read it and then answer them respectively. Yeah, so in Czech Republic, I studied at the Czech University of Life Sciences for my master's and also for my PhD. I studied master's in natural resource and environment. At the time of the scholarship application, this program was one of the selected programs for the master's scholarship. Yeah. Now, let's talk about scholarships in the Czech Republic. I have a slide presentation here, so I would want to go by that, and along the line, I would try to explain or expatiate on some points that might not have detailed information. All right. So most people do not even know where Czech Republic is located. Czech Republic, as you can see on the map, please let me know if you can see. Yes, I can share the slides with you after the session. And so you should send me a email to my official email. You can find it on my bio. I will do that. Yes. So Czech Republic is located in the central part of Europe. You can see the some neighboring countries such as Germany, Austria. Then you have Budapest, which is Hungary's capital. There is Poland. You can see Krakow and a lot. So basically, it's one of the Central European countries. It is part of the Schengen communities or countries, and then also part of European Union. The currency is Czech koruna, and the excuse me, the official language is Czech. So in Czech Republic, they speak Czech. But one thing you must know about Czech Republic, especially the capital, Prague, is a cosmopolitan, um, an emerging destination for expats, workers, and students alike. So there is a big international community presence in the Czech Republic, despite the fact that Czech is the official language. There are a lot of international organizations and companies operating from Czech Republic, partly due to relatively cheap labor compared to other European countries like UK, Germany, Switzerland, and stuff. So a lot of international companies have their headquarters or certain aspect of their activities operating from Czech. So even if you are not English speaker, you have a high sorry if you, even if you are not a Czech speaker, you have a higher possibility of getting job or surviving in Czech Republic, especially in Prague, which is the capital of Czech. Czech is also one of the populous tourist destination. A lot of uh, um, ancient architecture and monuments to attract um, tourists from Asia and around the world. It has one of the biggest hospitality industry in the world, and Prague, its capital, has been nominated severally as of as one of the best cities in the world and one of the cleanest, well-planned cities in the world. The transportation system is one that I can highly commend for the consistency. I've been there for almost 10 years, and the annual subscription for internal transport, the price has never changed. It is 3,650 since 2015 till date. It remains same. So you can see how stable the economy is. And until the emergence of COVID, prices were quite stabilized. Comparatively, Czech is uh, a quite cheaper than other countries, other neighboring countries like Austria, Germany, etc. But they also offer almost the same standard of living, if not better. So this is a little introduction or preview about uh, Czech Republic. Prince Akita, I think that other people can see the slides, so I hope you can also see it now. If you still can't see it, kindly adjust your machine and I hope you will see it. Yes, so now let's quickly dive into the main topic for today, which is the scholarships in Czech Republic. But before I bring you examples of scholarships in Czech Republic, I want to talk about some of the characteristics that make studying in Czech Republic one of the um, best option you can go for. So, as I said, uh, Czech is emerging destination for international students. As of 2022, which has the latest statistics on the number of international students in Czech Republic, there are over 52,000 international students from in Czech Republic. Some are coming from USA, and trust me, that is true. I had a mate who came from USA to study in Czech Republic. Um, some are coming from India, China, Vietnam, all over the world to study. Australia, and even in Europe itself. A lot of people are coming to study in Czech Republic, especially on the Erasmus Mundus Plus scholarship program involving EU nations. Some are coming from Austria, Germany, a lot, Italy, all over the world to study in Czech Republic. So you will not be the first or isolated international student. You will meet a lot of people coming from around the world to study in Czech Republic, and not only in Prague, but in almost all the universities across the country. And there are numerous English taught programs for all levels, bachelor's, master's, and then PhD levels. You can find a variety of programs that you can relate or associate with, except in cases of nursing and maybe public health, where I presume they train the expect for the local market, and so most of the programs are, or all these programs are taught in Czech language. The rest, like medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, agriculture related, IT, economics and management, business administration, environmental, agrobiology, etc. They have uh, they have the Czech instruction and also the English, fully taught English counterpart programs. And then, barring fully funded programs, or if you put full scholarships aside, there is the tuition fees for some programs or almost all programs are comparatively affordable. You can get study program which charge as low as 500 Czech crowns. And for this, I will give the specific example. At the University of South Bohemia in Bojovice, there is a program, master's program of biological chemistry. The tuition fee per year is 500 Czech crowns. And an interesting thing about this program is that you can do 1 year in Czech Republic, Bojovice, and then another in Austria. I don't think it's in Vienna, but yeah, in another city in Austria. This program is co-hosted by these two universities. So you can check the program out after this session, and I know that you'll be interested. That is the extremely one of the cheapest. But then when you look at the range or on average, programs like agriculture related programs, the price ranges from 1,000 euros, which is 25,000 Czech crowns currently, to maybe 2,000 euros. When you go to the economics and management programs, the same thing, you can have between 1,500 to 2,500 euros. So it's quite affordable compared to uh, similar master's programs in UK, US, Canada, um, maybe Switzerland, and other countries in Europe. So the affordability is there. And there is easy admission and visa application processes. One of the things that I would like to highlight is the financial requirement or proof of funds for visa application. For Czech Republic, it's 118,000 Czech crowns. Um, in current exchange rate, it's even less than 60,000 Ghana cedis. I don't know where you are watching from, but you can quickly round it up to 120,000 Czech koruna CZK, and then look at its equivalent in your in your local currency. So this is just to let you know that if you are able to meet the admission requirements of the university or of the program you are applying to, and then you can easily, it gets to the visa application, you can easily uh, erase the amount required for the proof of funds, because other countries they may offer you free tuition and all that, but you have to prove about 40 an amount of 14,000 euros, 12,000 euros in funds to support yourself, and that becomes an issue. But in Czech Republic, they have that flexibility that once you pay your tuition, you just need to prove the amount that will be needed for 1 year in your own account in your local country. But you should go there with the ATM, and I will talk about these details when I get to the visa application aspect. So please don't go anywhere. Stay tuned and let's enjoy this journey. All right. So now let's talk about some of the top universities for international students. Before you decide to apply to what scholarships are available and stuff, you want to also familiarize yourself with scholarships, universities in the Czech Republic and some of the prominent universities that international students do identify with. And here I have a screenshot of some of the universities, and you can see that the universities which I attended, the name is here. In English, it's Czech University of Life Sciences in Prague, but in Czech language, it's called Česká zemědělská univerzita, CZU. All right. So Charles University is also prominently noted for its um, um, top-notch medical programs, medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, and it has several faculties spread across the country and then within Prague as well. Uh, I think any program that you can think of in this world, you may find it in uh, one of the faculties of Charles University, and there is also the Masaryk University in Brno. Brno is the second largest city in Czech Republic. Um, so you can see the universities and where they are located. Palaki University, Olomouc, Czech Technical University, Czech University of Chemistry and Technology, Brno University of Technology, University of South Bohemia. I just mentioned it. It has a program that is 500 Czech crowns per year, which is something about 20 euros. Yes, 20 euros. So you can see it's very cheap. And then we have the University of Radet Kralovi, University of Pardubice. A lot of Ghanaians and Nigerians, Kenyans that I have met in Czech Republic came to study there, and after studying, they relocated to Prague and stuff. I will tell you some of the advantages of studying and completing your studies in Czech Republic. So you can see all these universities have English taught programs that international students can look into and apply. In case you are interested and you don't know where to start from, you can start by searching the universities, uh, some of the universities in Czech Republic. All right. The first scholarship I want to talk about is the Czech government scholarship. That is the scholarship I used in 2015. But I think in 2018, the bilateral agreement that the Czech government had with the Ghana government uh, came to a close. So currently, Ghana is not on the list of this scholarship. The same for some other African countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and stuff. I met I met people who came from Kenya with this Czech government scholarship. But for now, the Bosnia Herzegovina, Cambodia, Ethiopia, Georgia, Moldova, Ukraine, and Zambia are these country are the countries that are eligible for the Czech government scholarship. The scholarship covers preparatory Czech language. So, in case you opt to study masters in Czech language, but you are coming from Ethiopia, Zambia, you don't know any Czech, so they will put you in a Czech language program for the first year, and then you master the Czech. And if you pass, then you can go and study your masters in Czech language. That is if the program you chose to study is in Czech. But if you chose an English taught program to study under this government scholarship, then there is no need for the preparatory Czech language. So the scholarship will cover also the English taught master's program as well as selected PhD programs. The application is done online and it opens annually in the summer, and the latest deadline by which you should apply is, I think, 30th of July. I have gone through this scholarship application process, so I can give you some hints. When you apply, there is a stage where you have to write uh, online exams. The online exams is made up of 100 basic English questions. It's tricky, but it's you can score. You can pass it easily if your English proficiency is good enough. As at the time I wrote in 2014, I had 96 over 100 for the English, and there is they say mathematics, but it's not entirely mathematics. It's kind of aptitude test, reasoning, logic and reasoning kind of test. If you find the magic trick, you can pass. Or I got 14. You get your results immediately after you go through. And then if you pass, you meet the criteria, they invite you for interview at the respective embassies, and then they will send your applications to the universities which are offering the programs you applied to. And once you are picked by the university or by the program, then you you'll be there. They will tell you to send information for your visa. You don't pay for any visa processing and stuff, no insurance. It was nice. At the time they were paying 14,000 Czech crowns per month in stipend. It was equivalent of $100. It was little, but it was much. It was enough to help let you enjoy comfortable studies without having to hustle. Yeah, so as you can see, the package or the coverage of the Czech government scholarship is here. But let me run from here and talk about what would interest majority of my listeners. The Erasmus Plus program. It's a Erasmus Mundus uh, joint master's degree, and this one it's at the master's level only, no PhD. And depending on the duration of the program you intend to study, the studies will cover that period. So if you enroll um, on a 1 year master's program, then the scholarship will be for 1 year. If the standard duration of your master's is 2 years, then the scholarship would run for 2 years. So just take note about it. Please keep your questions coming, and I would be attempting them. In case I finished and you have the questions, I would have a session for question and answer. All right. Um, so let's go back. You have to submit your application between October and then January. Um, so if you want to enroll next year, September 2026, the application period starts between October 2025 and January 2026. You submit application to the specific programs. I would be showing you some of this information um, in the web, so please bear with me when I'm trying to switch between between the slides or between the stages. And then the benefits here, they will cater for your travel costs. So for your air ticket to the steady destination, they will bear it. They will offer monthly stipend. They will also offer health insurance cover, and your visa cost will also be catered for. What you need is to have a bachelor's degree with the relevant background in the program you intend to study. So if you did some political science, sociology, and stuff, and there is a program, public policy, which you can apply, then that is for you because you have the requisite background. And yeah, so this is really great, and you should not. It's competitive, so you should have the required academic prowess, and you should show yourself that you merit the scholarship. Several Czech universities partake in this scholarship. So, for example, my university, I talked about the Czech University of Life Sciences, right? It's one of the universities in Czech Republic that undergoes or that partake in this Erasmus Mundus Plus joint master's scholarship. Let me quickly uh, share this stage. Yeah, so when you come here and then I would also share this link if you write me, or you, as you can see, study in CZ, studying.cz/plan your studies slash scholarship slash. So um, the first scholarship I spoke about is here. Then you come to the Erasmus Plus program. If you want to find out, uh, see which Czech universities offer the Erasmus Mundus master's degree, you click here, and then you can use the filter to search what you want. So here you can select the country. Um, let's see, check, check here, and then that can even be enough. Okay, so you close it and then you can select university. But if you want to know all the programs offered by Czech universities, selecting the Czech alone is enough. And year of project selection, you can, I'm not sure if, let me be sure of the years. Okay. Yeah, so these are previous years, but yeah, if you select only Czech and then you go to the filter, you let me just select something just so I can complete the process. And then you search, you will see that all the programs that were done by that Czech partook would be here. So now we have the Erasmus Mundus Masters in Scholarship, European Environmental Economics and Policy. If you click on this, you will see which university was involved in this program. It's by four plus European universities, and the universities are, yes, the program structure. Yeah, so these are the programs. So you see here, the first year you will do environmental economics and policy in Europe at the University of Copenhagen. And then the second year you can do in any of these. We have the uh, uh, Heidelberg University, again the same university, University of Milan, and then we have Charles University, and then the Economic of Green and Just Transition, um, University of Warsaw. All right, Warsaw. So the same way, if you remove the year, you can find several other programs that are organized by several other Czech universities. So yes, let me quickly go back and uh, oh, I didn't share the screen. Sorry. All right, so let's go back here. Wait. Yes, so the Erasmus Mundus Plus Scholarship has a lot of options for global students. So this one I have seen as in 2 years or 3 years ago, there were two Ghanaians I met in my university, and they came with the Erasmus Mundus Plus Scholarship, and part of their program they did it at the university in Slovakia. Slovakia is a neighboring country of Czech Republic, and in the past it used to be Czechoslovakia, but now yeah. Sorry, I will share the link to this Erasmus Mundus Plus scholarship that I mentioned to you, since you didn't see uh, the screen I shared. I hope now I am back on track. Can you see? Yes. Okay. So let's look at the next types of scholarships. So aside these two prominent scholarships that I mentioned, there are also university specific scholarships. And even within the universities, there are department or faculty specific scholarships. Overall, some faculties have scholarships intended for excellent students. They are merit based, and this you do not get them on admission, but you have to spend one semester and meet a certain grade point at maybe 80% and above, and then you will automatically be considered for that scholarship. And once you are considered, you need to maintain the same a very good grade point to keep that scholarship. That are quite stringent. But at the Charles University Department of Mathematics and Physics, there is um, a number of scholarships for bachelors and masters, especially for computer science and physics related programs. So you can look them up if your background is in physics, mathematics. They also have the STARS scholarship. It's for PhD studies. And apart from that there are also specific calls for PhD programs. And when there are specific calls for specific PhD programs and topics, these are fully sponsored and you are well remunerated. You are well paid for undertaking these programs, especially some PIs like principal investigators or professors or supervisors who have adequate funding can let you enjoy your PhD life. So uh, do not forget to uh, look at the university site for specific scholarships. When you go to the Czech University of Life Sciences too, there are specific scholarships. Some are meager towards accommodation and stuff. But don't worry, you can apply for all these small pieces, and together they would ease you of your financial obligation in studying in Czech Republic. So I just listed only 6 universities here, but several universities have specific scholarship course. One of them that I will want to highlight is at the University of Pardubice. There is a very attractive scholarship for or fully funded program called English Philology. English, you are eligible to apply for this program. They require your writing sample. So please note that if you are going for this scholarship, you have the requisite background um, to to be admitted or to be considered for the scholarship. Beside the university specific scholarships, there are the intergovernmental exchange program scholarship, and these are for short stays or visits for up to 10 months, but you can always reapply and renew it to extend it. So if first you applied for 2 months or 5 months, and at the time your term was about to end, you reapply and renew it, you can extend it further. But it is not towards issuing of a degree certificate. They give you certificate for attendance or of a sort. So let's say you are in your second year of doctoral studies and you want to go and do part of your research studies in the Czech Republic, you can use this intergovernmental exchange program scholarship. But you must check if your country is eligible for this kind of arrangement or this kind of scholarship. And then you have to really strictly follow the application requirement. I have shared the link to the scholarship information here in this slide, so take note of that. And then there is so about the scholarships, just to give a summary of the scholarship. The government scholarship exists, the intergovernmental scholarship program also exists, the university specific or the faculty specific scholarship exists. You have to find out that the program you intend to study is fitted for that scholarship. And like I said, if you go to Charles University, they have specific scholarship for um, they call stars for PhD candidates in the sciences. If you go to the Department of Mathematics and Physics, they have the master's and bachelor's scholarship for computer science. And Other universities also have the merit scholarship for academic excellence. So please open up and then check the various universities in Czech Republic for the scholarships that would meet your specific um, background or your specific qualification. Now I want to talk about, so let's say that if you take scholarships away and you want to apply for general admission into Czech universities, there are some information you need to know to make your application easier, simpler, and successful. And one of such is you have to have an idea of the application opening date and deadlines. So generally, or on the average, scholarship application, study applications in the Czech Republic opens from November to March, but some can start a bit earlier, September, October, and then some also do end later, as far as end of June. So you should know the range. But I'm talking to you as a potential international student or applicant. So judging from the processing of visa application, it is not suitable for international applicants to wait till the last minute to apply. You may get admission all right. You may get admission all right, but there might be delays in your visa processing, and then you miss the starting date of your university. You will miss the start date of your university admission, and that might affect your visa visa success also. So for some universities, they state that if you will need visa to attend the studies, you must apply by this end date, maybe February, maybe something. And then some faculties also do rolling interviews and uh, entrance exams still within the application window. So let's say the application opens in November and ends in March. But if people start applying by the 1st of November, they give them some interview dates by end of November. This interview you pass, as soon as you pass the following day or in 2 days, you'll receive notification that you have passed and you have now conditional offer. So then you go through the processes to make your offer unconditional. So from November, December, January, April, you can go through all those processes and then get unconditional acceptance letter by maybe, let's say, November, program, the start of programs are towards the end of September. So if you get your unconditional acceptance letter by, let's say, even beginning of March, you have almost 6 months to go through the visa application process. Booking success and not, you can still manage that within this period. So I would always admonish that if you intend to study in Czech Republic as an international student, you should be mindful of when you want to apply. Apply as soon as the admission opens and make sure that you have fulfilled the processes required. And what I just said, it's for all uh, study program levels, with the exception of PhD programs. I will talk more about PhD programs because PhD application has a specific uh, requirement that one must fulfill. So yes, this is for both bachelor's and master's study programs. The applications, with the exception of few faculties And the only one I have seen is at the University of Padovisi and Hardet Kralovi, where for some specific applications you need to do it via the paper method. The rest are all online. So always check at the university website and then get the application link. But I am also here for you. If you need help with the application, I can assist you uh, with the processes so that you don't hustle in vain. So do not hesitate to contact me when you need help with the application. The application fee usually ranges between 600 Czech crowns to 750, 850, 900 maximum Czech crowns. That is still less than $100. That is still less than 50 euros. So the application fees are quite very affordable. The maximum I have come across is 35 euros. Yes. My contacts and emails are all on my YouTube profile. So after this session, you can check my YouTube profile and you can find all the information you need to be able to contact me. Thank you. All right. So, um, like I said, some would offer you interviews, some will not offer you interviews. And for those that require interview, you will see clearly that they offer interview. Now, let me tell you about the interview. The interview may be in a form of entrance exams, but they call it interview anyway. And sometimes they want to test your basic knowledge in the program you want to come and study, and where they organize verbal interview. If you are coming from Anglophone country, they don't need any IELTS or TOEFL or something. They try to test your proficiency through the oral interview, just to interact briefly to see your basic English construction and stuff. So if you're confident and you prepare well and you have the background knowledge in the program you seek to study, then you don't have any cause to fear for the interview. This year, I have over 10 people successfully secured their admission and working towards their uh, visa application, and I hope that they will succeed. So if they have managed to pull it through, you can also pull it through. So don't be afraid of interviews whatsoever. They are quite calm, and trust me, they are at the level that you can easily pass. Okay. All right. Now let me tell you about the legalization and notification of academic documents. When I went for my um, scholarship interview in 2015, I met one very kind man, and he told me why I need to do this legalization of document and stuff. In previous years before me, people had gone there with forged documents and they realized that later. So now they put a system in place to authenticate the documents you use for the application. And that is what they call the legalization and notification process. This process entails one, uh, getting your document legalized or attested by the foreign ministries of your home country. Here in Ghana, it's the Ministries of Foreign Affairs. So before you go to the Foreign Affairs for attestation, you must go to the court. All these processes can be done by some people at the Ministries of Foreign Affairs for a fee. So they will go to the court to do those on your behalf, and then the minister will put, or somebody designated will put the attestation letter to certify that your documents are legal and you acquire them legally in Ghana. After that, you will take the document, you book an appointment at the Czech embassy. Here in Ghana, the appointment day is once every month on the 23rd of that month. You have to send email with specific instructions to a specific email address. And once that is done, um, the they will decide to give you a date where you bring this legalized document to their office, pay some amount of money, and then get your document legalized by the Czech embassy. So that one it's called super legalization. So first you do the legalization and then you go to the super legalization, and the third process is the nostrification. The nostrification are in two forms. If you have already applied to a specific university or faculty and you have been granted admission, and now you need to authenticate your document. Since now you are focused on going to this particular university or this particular faculty, you can go and do what they call internal evaluation. The internal evaluation is cheaper in the sense that it is done just purposely for the study for the program you applied for. It's about 900 Czech crowns, depending on which faculty you are applying to. The prices may vary or may change. Once you do that, uh, the disadvantage of that process is that that evaluation you cannot use it for any other university in Czech Republic, not even any different faculty in the same university. So you should know this. Um, but for the notification, it's a bit expensive. I think it's 3,000 Czech crowns, about 120 euros or 120 euros. With that one, you can use it to apply for studies in any university in Czech Republic. So this is where I, I advise people. These processes can take quite a longer period of time. So for the legalization, you can do it within 7 days. The first step, you can do it within 7 days at the foreign ministry. But the super legalization, you need to book appointment. And depending on how many people are booking appointment, how fast you're able to book appointment, you may get a date on your first attempt, or you may try third times and stuff, right? And this you cannot control it. And then the notification itself or the internal evaluation itself, it takes up to 60 days for the results to come out. So I always admonish my potential clients or people who come to me to try to start these processes far in advance so they get all the documents they need ready even prior to application. If they can manage that or if they can afford that, they should do that prior to the application. And then once you have them, as soon as they give you the conditional offer, they just ask you to now bring your document, uh, notified document. You just send it to them, and if you send it to them within 1 week, they will issue you the acceptance letter. So even if you have all these documents readily available, and you apply, let's say in March, and you get accepted in April, and they ask for this document, you send the documents, you know that you are almost through to get your acceptance letter in April and start the application or the request for visa application the following month or even within the same month. So it is very important to be decisive that I'm going to study in Czech Republic. These are the documents and the processes I need them to go through, get them done before the start of the application season, and then you would be you will find it very easy to maybe obtain even your visa several months in advance before the start of the program. Last year, a few people got admission, but they applied late in May, and they couldn't meet the period within which they should process all this to get their acceptance letter and then for onward application of visa. So they missed out on the visa. So please, this step I'm talking about is very important and very key. So do not overlook that aspect. If you missed out on anything in this particular slide, you can send your questions. Um, eh, this is not supposed to be here. Okay, so now let's talk about the visa application process. Let's say that you have obtained your um, acceptance letter unconditional. Now you need to apply for your student visa. There are certain documents and processes you need to follow. I will mention some of the documents, but as a student, it's also important to do some research by yourself. After this presentation, you can check the website of the respective consulate or embassy that you will need to apply your visa through, what they require of you, and how to meet them. But as a basis, and mostly since I'm a Ghanaian, I will use the Ghanaian system. They will require a police report, police criminal report, which is not older than 6 months. This police report, you must legalize it and translate it. They will require this acceptance letter, unconditional offer, in the hard copy, and then I think the soft copy you will use it for the booking of appointment, but the hard copy you will present it, and it must be the original copy. They will also require proof of funds, as I have stated earlier on. The proof of funds um, for Ghana, or no, for international students, is 118,000 Czech crowns, which is maybe 3,000 to 4,000 euros, if I'm not, maybe 5,000 euros at current exchange rate. It's far easy to get this than 14,000 euros that are requested by Italy and 12,000 which is requested by Germany. So yes, this one too, you will need it. And then you will need accommodation contract. The accommodation contract, some of the universities and faculties will make arrangement for you to get accommodation contract for the purpose of visa application. But the onus is on you to later book accommodation after your visa has been approved. Okay, to secure yourself an accommodation so that when you go there, you find a place to sleep. Yes, several universities have hostels for students, so you can apply to the hostels. They are the cheapest, or there are also commercial. They are hostels, but not universities affiliated. You can apply to those ones. You can also um, try to find your own apartment. Those who are well-to-do, you can find apartments or flats in the city or in the surrounding neighborhood of the university, and then get accommodation contracts from landlords or landladies. So that one would also be very crucial in your uh, application for visa. And then when the visa is approved, you will need to go there with health insurance. It can be 3 months, it can be 6 months, or it can be 1 year. There are at the university, at the embassy's website, you will find some information about which um, insurance companies health insurance are accepted. That you don't need to buy them from Ghana or your local country, your country of origin. You buy them in Czech Republic. So because you're going to use the insurance in Czech Republic. And then there is the interview uh, aspect of the visa application. I had one guy attend interview and he told me it was really intense. Over 1 hour, he was being questioned and he was asked about 30 questions. So be very well prepared. Don't think it's just a mere process. They want to be sure that you are indeed an academic material and the purpose for which you are going there is academic. So they will drill you, they will ask you university specific questions, program specific questions, European specific questions. So if you are going to study international trade and stuff, they may ask you questions about international trade laws and some of these things. So be very well prepared. Know the courses, the nature of examination. For example, in Czech Republic, you have three attempts for exams. You can go one, two, three, and mostly some exams you do the written part and then you go for the oral part one on one, and then also um, there is what we call the state exam. So after passing all your courses and you're finishing your project work, you will meet a panel and then defend your project work. And also they would ask you questions from selected thematic subjects. And you need to pass this before you can graduate. You can pass all your courses, get all A's, but if you fail to pass the state exams, you are kaput. You have to wait and go again for the state exams. And I think you have some 2 or 3 times. I'm not sure to for your state exams. If you don't manage, it becomes wasted. But trust me, 99.9% of people will pass um their state exam. So I'm just telling you how the nature of studies look. So as international applicant hoping to study there, you must read about this and have a foreknowledge of this. You can also read about the economy and why it's interesting to you and stuff. Get well prepared. And yes, please, this is a little bit about the interview and the booking. Also, again, for visa is 23rd of every month for Ghana. It might be different for other countries. So again, check your embassy's website and be sure that you know how to do it. There are some tricks on how to do some of these things. If you reach out to me, I'll be happy to share and to help you go about that. I'm sorry I missed one point that I sought to talk about during for um on the admission, right? So PhD studies, for PhD studies, you need to identify a potential supervisor, write to them, discuss with them, and then get their consent that they are willing to supervise you. What is interesting is that all the universities across Czech Republic for PhD studies, they have thesis topics listed. They have a site for thesis topics and the related supervisors. So if you find any topic interesting and you have the background, the foreknowledge, the knowledge in methodology to conduct that research, you can write the supervisor, share your CV with them, and get wait for response. If they respond in an affirmative, then you can start the process of application. Otherwise, you can never apply for PhD program. Um, because there is a part you need to fill, and if you don't fill that part, you cannot continue the application. And that part you need to provide a potential supervisor's name. So, what is the workaround for this? You have completed masters. You really want to go and study PhD, but it's getting too difficult to get into the PhD program. You have tried several times, it's not working. I would say that apply for a second master's program, get the admission, get there, and once you are there in presence, and the in present, and the people, the lecturers come to teach. You identify somebody that you can start discussion with for potential supervision for PhD, and then you can you can re-enroll onto the PhD program. It's easier interacting with people in person than through the emails and stuff. So that is for me a workaround. And the PhD studies are almost free, and you have monthly stipend for PhDs by the government or by the universities. And if you are fortunate to have a supervisor who has enough funding or grant for carrying out some research, they give you additional allowance to support what the government is giving you. So it's really cool. It's not so big, but it's still something you can live within. And if you for PhD, it's difficult to combine work. So, but you can do it anyway. For almost my 5 or 6 years PhD studies, I worked, yeah, full time. But it depends. Okay. And one thing I didn't talk about studying in Czech Republic is the fact that in Czech Republic they do not limit how many hours a student can work. In fact, when I went there, they had what they called negative unemployment. So they needed more people to even work for them until this Ukrainian Russian issue, where there are a lot of Ukrainians in Czech now, but still international students are eligible to work. I think there are exceptions to Vietnamese, but for my people and those I have met, you can work full time, um, as long as you are able to keep up with your steady duties. So that is something you need to know. And then when you graduate bachelor's, master's, or PhD in Czech Republic, you automatically have free access to job market. What it means is that in some countries you will need a company to sponsor your visa, but in Czech Republic, once you graduate from there, one of the benefits is that you can get contract from any company and they don't need to sponsor your visa. You just use your certificate and the indefinite contract to go to the immigration office and apply for what they call work permit or work visa. So you can work. It's renewable every 2 years. And then if you work in Czech Republic for 5 years, or if you went for studies, you live there for 10 years, you qualify for permanent residency. And with this, the only difficult thing is that you need to pass their you need to pass their language exams at A2 level. So the language, the beginner level starts from A1, and then a bit advanced beginner is A2. So you need to pass this before you can apply for the permanent residency. So they have flexible terms and opportunities for international students to live and work there during studies or even post graduation. And that is one thing that you should take notice of. Besides, if you are legally living in Czech Republic and working in Czech Republic, you can also apply for what they call the EU green card, the blue card. The EU blue card allows you to work uh, in any EU country of your choice as long as you get a job contract or you find a work opportunity there. You can work there without any hassle. So these are the um, information I wanted to bring. to your attention um, about scholarships, studying in Czech Republic, and some of the processes you may need to go through to be there. So at this juncture, I am open to taking your uh, questions, and if there is something that I left out, you can maybe through your questions I can fill in the missing information. I have someone here, Selena Eshon. She said, I wrote an entrance exams for Mendel. Yes. Yeah, I think Mendel's also do organize entrance exams at the Czech embassy in Ghana. I don't know if that process is still ongoing, but you can also write online entrance exams depending on the program you are applying to. And yes, Mendel's, there's a lot of Ghanaians have been studying at Mendel's University, and we have some Ghanaian professors teaching there at Mendel's University. Can we get the link for uni? Um, Gemechis, I am not sure what you mean. So you can also just Google scholarships in Czech Republic, and then you select study scholarship. There's one that will appear scholarships, and then under that you see study in Czech. You will get a lot more information about this. Okay. Um, do you still need these documents even when it's a scholarship? Very good question, Prince. So at the time I was applying for the scholarship, I didn't need these documents. I didn't even do translation of documents, anything of a sort. And since if it is actually the Erasmus or the Czech government scholarship, you will need to, of course, send your I send um, the academic documents, my transcript and certificate. I think you are asking about the documents for visa application if you have scholarship. In that case, no, you don't need any of them. Like I said, when I had a scholarship, I was just there and they told me to come for my visa. I went for visa. I didn't have to pay anything like insurance, health insurance whatsoever. So yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, 30 questions. Almost. Depend on the program and how well he was answering some of them. I don't know, but yeah. What's the main criteria they dwell on? I don't, your question is incomplete, Ebenezer. Do criteria of what? Why is it difficult to get a date for visa booking these days? I'm not sure because I have two two people who got the acceptance letter and they book uh, for visa appointment easily. One of them has attended the interview already, and the other is yet to attend. He sent the email on the 23rd of last month, and he has a date for the interview this month. So I am not sure how you go about it. Yes, I know there are people who are not even getting dates for super legalization and stuff. But if you need help, you can contact me. We can discuss that and see how we can help you. Is it class, work experience, etc. with regards to the criteria, please? Are you asking about criteria for for passing the scholarship or for getting scholarship or for getting admission or what? Like I said, for some universities, you just need to pass the entrance exams or the interview, plus have the relevant background. Okay. For some, you need to prove by work experience. So they will take your CV. They will even take your. They will They will request for the abstract of your bachelor's thesis. That is, if you are going for master's program. And for um, for some, it will be a combination of relevant work experience and also um academic relevant academic background. So whether it's whether it's visa sorry whether it's a scholarship or normal admission process, all these are relevant. So, but yeah, for example, at the Czech University of Life Science programs, they do not require you to provide CV. They do not even require you to provide reference letter or recommendation letter. Okay, which is a very easy application process. You just need to pass and then submit your documents. Then they will take it out from there. Can you share your contact details or email if possible? I said earlier on that my information can be found on my YouTube bio. You can find my email address there. So please use that. Can you share the link to the top universities? Just Google top universities for international students in Czech Republic, and then a chunk of them will come. I highlighted some of them already, so this is easy to find. Um, yes, I said that student work full time, as long as you are able to combine that with your studies. As I mentioned, Czech Republic is a big tourist destination, and so the hospitality industry is very huge, and the work night jobs and stuff are very available for students on part-time and full-time basis. So it's up to you how easy you find something and how you can manage your time well to combine. And if you are a teacher proficient in English, that's a plus because teaching English is one of the lucrative jobs you can find in Czech Republic as a student. Regarding the proof of funds, is the account or fund going to be blocked as done by other countries like Germany and others? No, actually, the account should be in your name in Ghana, and then you must have an accompanied ATM card, whether Visa or MasterCard, which is also in your name. So you don't even have to open the account in their country. You open it's your personal account here in your local country, and then you can show them the bank statement and then the ATM. The ATM card is to show that when you are there in Czech Republic, you can still access the funds so that your life there will not be difficult. So yes, it will not be blocked. Do you have a university for communication, branding, international relations, or diplomacy? Most of the universities would offer this course. Charles University offers. When I started, I mentioned that for Charles University, you are likely to find almost all study programs you can think of in the world there, except few, except maybe public health and those kind of stuff. Otherwise, you can find all these programs you are asking about. Please, if you have any question, keep them coming. I have some 8 more minutes to go, so I can take some more or few more questions. And don't forget to reach out. If you check my channel, I have also other information about scholarships availability, how to prepare your CV, application documents, and stuff. You can learn from them and enhance your study abroad experience and application. All right. It seems there's no further question. If you couldn't have the opportunity to ask your question, again, check my bio on YouTube. You will find my email address. You can ask your questions through the email, or if you watch this later, you can still put your questions in the comment section. I will be notified and then I will provide responses accordingly. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best uh, in your journey to study abroad. If there is anything I can do to help realize your dream, uh, I'll be glad to assist. So don't forget to reach out. Until then, ciao.